SESvince here, and NXT Takeover Chicago will be taking place live from the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, my hometown. So if you guys are from Chicago, let me know. We can meet up or something. Let's talk about the match card for this Saturday's NXT Takeover Chicago. The first match we're going to be talking about is the match that recently just got announced, Roderick Strong versus Sanity's Eric Young. And as much as I would like Roderick Strong to win, I'm going to go with Eric Young to pick up the victory in this contest, just because I feel like the numbers game is going to be too much for Roderick Strong to overcome. And plus, this is the start of the feud, and I do really feel like this is going to be a long-term feud that culminates in like a big-time match at like NXT Takeover Houston or Texas or whatever. Basically a Survivor Series weekend. I see this feud going on for a couple months at least, and I need Roderick Strong to like take a couple L's and just like be the sympathetic baby face that people like rally behind and want to root for. And that's basically what Roderick Strong needs, because right now in NXT he feels like just a generic bland baby face. The little getting to know Roderick Strong videos that they did a couple weeks ago really did help out, because in his match against Hideo Itami I was a little bit more invested in his match and did want him to win, but at the same time I wanted Hideo to get the W and become the #1 contender. But yeah, back to the Roderick Strong Eric Young match. I just feel like the numbers game with Sanity is going to be too much. He's just going to take the loss. It's basically going to be the continuation of the Ty Dillinger feud and Eric Young feud from a couple weeks ago. He's just being replaced with Roderick Strong. And for all we know, like after the match, there could be like some kind of beatdown where Sanity like all beat down on Roderick Strong, and Cassius Ohno comes out, maybe No Way Jose comes out, maybe some other guy comes out and just evens out the odds. Maybe Drew McIntyre comes out. I don't know. Somebody can come out and help out Roderick Strong after the beatdown, and I feel like that's how that match is gonna end. But yeah, man, I have Eric Young picking up the victory in this one. The next match we have is the United Kingdom Championship title match between the challenger Pete Dunn and the current champion Tyler Bate. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I didn't watch the UK Championship tournament. It was just one of those things where like there was so much wrestling going on with WWE at that time, where there was like a pay-per-view every 2 weeks. There was Raw, there was SmackDown, there was NXT, there was 205 Live. There was just so much wrestling, and then at the time I was trying to keep up with TNA, because I feel like if I remember correctly, the Hardys were still in TNA, and I was trying to keep up with that storyline. So unfortunately, the UK Championship was one of those things where I said I'm probably gonna skip that. And I've only really seen Pete Dunne wrestle once, and Tyler Bate I've seen them wrestle a few times on NXT, and I really can't give a fair assessment as to who I feel like should win or could win, because honestly this is a toss-up for me. I don't have enough information gathered up in my videotape library that I've reviewed. I would have to literally go through the entire UK tournament to know more about these guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and just say Pete Dunne wins, picks up the title. New change of pace. I feel like Tyler Bates had the title for a good minute now. Maybe a change of pace could help the title and the feud. And yeah, man, it just seems like Tyler Bate has just been like running through the mill, like has just like coasted as a champion, hasn't really had a legit threat to his UK title. I feel like Pete Dunne is the first legit threat that he's had. I think the closest thing to that was when Jack Gallagher challenged him for the UK title a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I don't know. For all I know, Tyler Bates gonna win. But I'm just gonna go with Pete Dunne. It'd be just an interesting dynamic, see what he is as a champion, because we've already seen what Tyler Bate is. He's just that babyface champion that crowds can cheer for, kind of like Bob Backlund type of champion. Pete Dunne, be interesting to see what kind of champion he'd be. But moving forward, we have the NXT Tag Team Championship match between the challengers DIY versus the Authors of Pain. Now, There's been some reports recently that Tommaso Ciampa got injured in the house show last night, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But he got injured this week. And the reports that I read this morning were that it was just like a mild ankle sprain. It wasn't too severe. He's just something that he needs to be off his ankle for a good day or so, and he should be good to go. Don't expect Tommaso Ciampa to take too many high-risk spots. I would like to see him take a little less of those kind of spots, just so in case he really is hurt, I don't want him to damage himself a little bit too much. But in terms of the winners of this match, even though it's a ladder match, which should favor DIY because they're the smaller, quicker team, and I'm assuming they've had ladder matches where the Authors of Pain haven't had too many matches, and we know they haven't had a ladder match in their career. But I feel like Authors of Pain should be the team to win in this match. They're the right choice in my opinion. They're the mainstay in NXT in terms of the tag team division. They're basically going to be what the Ascension was for NXT a couple years ago, where there was this dominant, long reigning tag team that nobody could beat. And I kind of like it because, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you, I didn't see this potential in Authors of Pain when I saw them debut. Best thing that I could see them being is being like backup bodyguards for like Roman Reigns or something. But they've really turned the corner. I really like what they've become, and I'm very, very much invested in what they have to offer. I like them. DIY has proven time and time again that they can put on great matches with the Authors of Pain, and they've done a great job in putting them over, and I think they're going to do that once again. DIY's stay in NXT won't be that long. I feel like their time in NXT is coming up real soon. It's coming up real soon. They're going to be gone in a matter of like weeks, months, but they should be brought up pretty soon. Either they're going to go to either SmackDown or Raw in the tag team division, or they're going to join the Cruiserweight division in 205 Live. Either way, they're out of NXT, and after that, I don't know what's going to happen with the tag team division, but right now it just looks like it's Authors of Pain versus everybody else. So yeah, that's who I got winning this match, Authors of Pain. Next up, we have the women's triple threat match between Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Nikki Cross. And let's be honest here, guys, the only real option here is Asuka. This is probably the one lock of the entire night. Like all the other matches, you can make a case for one side or the other, but in this triple threat match, without Ember Moon being in it, she got injured in that battle royal, and just her being out of the equation means that Asuka's gonna keep that title for just a little bit longer. Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross look like they're gonna have a feud going on with each other for a couple weeks going into Brooklyn, the next takeover, or over the next couple weeks in NXT. And yeah, it's just not the right time to take the title off of Asuka, and especially give it to either Ruby Riott or Nikki Cross. Nothing against those girls, but they're too new in the women's division to get those titles and be believable threats and believable champions, to hold on to that title. And honestly, it's Ember Moon versus Asuka. This is the big money match, and I'm actually kind of glad and disappointed at the same time. Disappointed at the fact that Ember Moon won't be in the match, and I won't be able to see her perform in Chicago because I will be there, and I won't be able to get to see her because she's one of my favorite superstars in the entire NXT roster. But if I'm looking at it long-term perspective and storyline wise, it makes so much sense. There's even more motivation for Ember Moon to want to take that title off of Asuka, and I think the perfect time to do that would be at NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3, which should be in August if I'm not mistaken. 3 months from now. Perfect time. That's when Asuka loses the title. She's gonna drop it at the next takeover. I have, like I said, I have Asuka winning here with an eventual rematch between Ember Moon later in the next takeover. And finally, we have the main event, the NXT Championship match between Hideo Itami and Bobby Roode. And honestly, I really want Hideo Itami to win. Hit the GTS in Chicago of all places would be fantastic. But I'm gonna say that Bobby Roode gets the victory here. Hideo Itami immediately made an impact by knocking out Bobby Roode in his return. Then he proved himself to be a credible #1 contender when he had that match with Roderick Strong. And then this past week on NXT, he left Bobby Roode lying on the mat. It doesn't have to be a clean victory. I don't know if it will. It probably won't be. I could see a situation where Hideo Itami has the match in his pocket, in his fingertips, ready to go, and then Bobby Roode he's being set up for the GTS, and then Bobby Roode goes ahead and just like rakes the eyes of Hideo Itami, and then maybe like the ref's distracted, maybe there's a low blow, maybe there's like a weapon involved. It's gonna be a dirty victory, and then Bobby Roode's gonna hit that glorious DDT, and that's gonna be the wrap of it. Bobby Roode just recently got the title off of Nakamura. He's only really had one title defense, other than Nakamura, the rematch with Nakamura. That's one. Then he defended it against Cassius Ohno, and that's it. Like, how much of a credible champion will Bobby Roode be if he loses to Hideo Itami? Now, Hideo could get the title, and that could very well happen at the next Takeover, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that Bobby Roode keeps the title. But it honestly wouldn't surprise me to see Hideo Itami walk away with the championship on Saturday. So it'll be a good match. Honestly, I'm gonna really be looking forward to this match. If you see a big glorious sign, that will be me out there, and if you see another Hideo sign, that will be me out there, because I'm representing both of these guys. I love both of these guys in the ring as performers. I can't wait. I'm honestly looking forward to NXT Takeover Chicago. I still can't believe that Chicago is getting the Takeover. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys enjoy this show this Saturday. And yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. To sum it all up, I got Roderick Strong losing to Sanity numbers game. I have Pete Dunn in his title change. I feel like maybe there should be at least one title change at the end of the night. Authors of Pain will keep the NXT tag titles regardless of DIY having the advantage with the ladder match. And I have Asuka obviously being the one lock in the entire night to retain the NXT Women's Championship, and later on going into a program with Ember Moon. And obviously I'm gonna go with Bobby Roode to walk away still your NXT champion. Now that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I really appreciate any and all supports. Follow me on all social medias at SESvince, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.